Hello, let's try another Leetcode problem today. Today we are going to try 1749, maximum absolute sum of any subarray. So subarray is a continuous array, from the nums. For example, 2 and 3 are subarrays and 2 and 3 are continuous, because from here we know that nums L plus 1 and nums R minus 1, we know that subarray are continuous. We just need to get the maximum of the sum of the subarrays, but inside the numbers it can be negative or positive. If it is always be positive numbers, it is easier, but here we also have negative numbers. So according to this array, and also we need to calculate a subarray. Normally this is a dynamic programming problem, and we can also check the length of nums. It is 10 to the power of 5, so we're going to use the ON to get the result. So for this kind of nums, because they are positive, so we can calculate the maximum of the positive numbers. Maybe this is 2 and 3, it is 5, or maybe here is another negative number. For example, this is a negative minus 4, and minus 3 and minus 4 maybe minus 7, but absolute of minus 7, it can be a bigger number, so this can be the result 7. I mean here this number is minus 4. But what should we do? Normally for dynamic programming, for this kind of a problem, and we know that it is a continuous sub-problem, we can use dynamic programming to get the previous state and then get the result. We will define 3 variables. So I'm going to define the maximum of nums. So this means at each position, the maximum of the num at this point. I'm also going to define a minimum num. So this means at each index, what is the minimum of num? For example, at this index, the maximum from 1 to minus 1, we know that the maximum should be minus 2. If we include this minus 3, so 1 and minus 3, the maximum should be minus 2. So what would be the minimum? So the minimum, we can only include this minus 3, so it is only minus 3. It is a minimum, and this minimum can be the result. So we should define 2 variables, and another variable is a result. Result is just used to check the max num and min num. So from the beginning, every number should be defined as 0. Then we are going to use the DP for n in nums. So for any number inside the nums, we're gonna check the max num. So what is the max num? So the max num, for example, 1 to minus 3, the maximum num from this point, the minus 3 to this point. Let me copy this array here. Maybe, we can understand clearly about what I mean. So if I go from 1 to minus 3, it means at this point. So what is the maximum of num? So it should be max of max num. Because before the max num is 0 from the beginning, the max num should plus, for example, I will go from the first num, it is 1. So the max num should plus this n, and also this number n can be the maximum. So from the first operation, the maximum should be 1. And then we can also calculate the minimum of num. So it should be min of minimum num plus n with this number n. What about the first loop? So it is 1, because maximum num and minimum is 1. 1 plus this number, maximum num and minimum num is 0. So 0 plus this number 1, it is still 1, and this n is 1. So from here, the result should be the max of result with max num and absolute of minimum num, because this minimum num can be a minus numbers. If it is a negative number, it can be bigger than this maximum number. Yeah, so here we don't need to use absolute for maximum number, because even maximum number is negative, for example, -1, but this number is always positive. So this is why we don't need to use absolute for maximum of nums. Yeah, max num. Yeah. Now let's go to the next position. If we go to -3, so what is the maximum num? So it is the max of max num. Yeah, before the max num is 1, should plus this number n, so it is -2, and this number n is -3, so the maximum is -2 when it goes to this position. So what I mean by the maximum and minimum num, it means at each state, what is the maximum num at this state? It means it can be several numbers, or it can be only one number. For example, it can be 1 and -3 together. It is -2 be the maximum of numbers. Yeah, maximum of num. Or it can be only -3. For example, -3 is the minimum of num, because for the minimum of num, we're gonna take the minimum from the minimum num plus this -3. Yeah, and 1 plus -3, it is -2, and this number n is also -3, so we're gonna take this -3 as the result. But for our final result, we're gonna take the result with the maximum num and absolute of minimum num. Yeah, I know it is sometimes confusing, but basically for dynamic programming, if it is a continuous subarray, we should check like this. Yeah. So this is the result. Now let me run it to check if it really works. Yeah, as you can see, it works. Now let me submit it to check if it can pass all the testing cases. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty fast, and it passed all the testing cases, and the time complexity is just O(n) because we only used one loop. Yeah, so for dynamic programming, basically, it's very important to understand what is the sub-problem and what is the previous state, what is the next state. So here we use the max num and minimum num as the current state. Yeah, so what is transformed from the current state? It is from the previous state plus this number n, or it can only be a number n. Yeah, but this is not yet the final result. We have to, for each position, we have to check this result. Yeah, because for each position we have to check. For example, when we go 2 and 3, so at this position the maximum num is 5. Yeah, so the result here is 5. Yeah, but we have to compare, go to the next one. So when we go to the next one, it is still 5, but because 2 plus 3 is still 5, but when we plus this -4, it can be a smaller number, but it's not our result. Our result should be maximum of result with those two states. Yeah. Thank you for watching. If you think this is helpful, please like and subscribe. I will upload more Leetcode problem like this. See you next time.